It's uThermal, it's Solar, it's a best of 5 to see who takes home the $300 prize and who walks out with the $150. In the bottom right hand side, the blue Terran player, give it up for uThermal! And on the top left hand side, our right Zerg Solar from Triumphant Song Gaming. Grand finals here, let's hope for some good matches. That would be really awesome, of course. Alright, so as we get this going, hatch gas and pool will begin. Couple drones on the way out, and the Overlord of Solar heading down to the lower right-hand side. Wardy, are you going to be attending Home Story Cup? No, I will not be, very sadly. Very, very sadly indeed. I'm actually kind of upset about it, because it was a bit of a mess getting organized, and it was because of that that I kind of couldn't make it there. Basically, like I thought I was going to be the B stream. Turns out they didn't want me for the B stream, and they told me in the day after the hotels the accommodation sold out, and the next best accommodation is like really far away, and it just seems like a massive hassle, and it's just getting really expensive and stuff. So I wasn't really interested in going anymore. You know, it kind of takes the fun out of it when you've got to pay a lot and travel a lot every single day. It's just stupid. So yeah, unfortunately I won't be there. I was really hoping they'd get me there, because I've been working a lot with Tech TV this year, and we worked one of the Home Story Cups this year. I actually finally got hired for a Home Story Cup. There's something like my 8th, 9th Home Story Cup. I finally got paid for being there, because unfortunately Jeff couldn't make it that time because when he was ill, and came in as like a replacement for Jeff. Me and DeMuslim like split the replacement money basically, and yeah. I kind of thought maybe I'd get invited, but no, apparently not. So I don't know, feels bad, man. Always there, never invited. It's just like my story of my StarCraft career, always just a slightly worse off option, never quite making it. It's okay, we'll keep grinding. Just means I can spend more time on the stream with you guys, of course. Why won't it be at Vegas, as Take wanted it in the first place? I think they just underestimated how expensive Vegas was going to be. Vegas, to hire a venue for a day, was something for what they wanted to do, was something like tens of thousands of dollars a day, so. Starpod drops down, reactor will start on that, and a couple of medevacs will come out. So this is a pretty fast uThermal opening. This is going to be uThermal. You see he's making a lot of Marines. He will probably play mech off of this, though. He'll probably play mech off of this, so let's see what's going to happen. As you do see this Overlord coming aside. Sorry, I actually forgot to mention as well, Twitch Prime sub coming in from Nasta. Sorry, buddy, didn't ignore you, just coming in when I was on a little bit of a rant. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime, I really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel. We are just over 500 subs as we go on vacation, so if we can save ourselves and be on 300 when we get back, that'd be really great. Fingers crossed we don't lose all the subscribers while we're gone. Thank you so much for that Twitch Prime. It really helps. I appreciate it. As Zergling nibbling the command center on the third base. So this is where uThermal probably is about to make his decision of gases and mech or bio. He loves this 2 medevac 14 Marine Widowmine drop. It comes at a bit of a weird timing. It arrives as a typical 2-1-1 would be kind of moving out. Obviously, you don't have Stimpack with this. This is a great defense from Solar. He's going to be able to push these medevacs away. This Widowmine is going to go down, and these Marines are all cleaned up. This is perfect from Solar. You kill absolutely everything, and you just trade out units, which is completely fine to trade out Lings for this. Look at that resources lost. 500 advantage so early in the game. That's really nice. Just going to be seeing the Spore coming in the top side. See 2 factories on the way up from uThermal in the main base. Again, that going command center on the natural will morph into an orbital, and Hellions from uThermal are going to continue to move towards the natural. Going to try and run by here. Obviously, Hellions dealing damage is one of the ways he really found wins against Bly, but I can't imagine Solo would let a similar amount of damage being done. And you can see 3 drones here. Hellions get into the kind of the choke point, so Lings don't trade well, but they also don't trade, they don't trade badly at all. Liberator gets shot down. Or shot away as it comes to siege up. Good pull from Solo, good respawn so far. He'll come back to the 3rd base. As a couple of drones going to pull away. This Spore Crawler will come over, will burrow up, and Macfield Accelerator and the Cyclone production continue. We mentioned this was going to be mech, and that is exactly what we're going to see as the Liberator gets picked off there. The orbital command of uThermal is going to come and drop into the forward position. As Liberator Sieges are going to be seeing a Queen. Probably would have been transfused. Good idea to target fire some drones there at the end. So, honestly, uThermal not really dealing much damage, and Solo kind of feels like he's getting into a very comfortable position. Infestation Pit on the way up, +1 missiles and road speed on the way down. That looks real good for Solo at the moment here, as uThermal is, well, not really getting much done at all, is he? As he gets into this mech style, Solo's choice will be the Swarm Hosts. That will be... I like it when you can get into a good economy early, you defend aggression, and you get into Swarm Hosts fast. It generally puts you into a good spot to actually get damage done with those Swarm Hosts, and to give you a good position time after time. Overseer to the bottom, as we do see Zerglings running to the right. Hellions from uThermal in the center, as we do see the Overlord lifting up. And we're heading in towards the main base. I'm going to get picked off. As you do see being in this, finishing in the back of the 3rd. Hellions are going to be running up in towards the natural. Evo Chamber dropping down, and Storm Host jumping up with a few Locusts to help defend. So these Hellions will get maybe a few drones. As in the main base, they're going to get a good few more as well. So uThermal getting some good damage done. Roaches will eventually clean this out, but 14 workers lost, and Locusts having to be used defensively is never great because it means they're not across the map dealing damage like they'd want to be. These Roaches going down to Cyclones as well, so uThermal dealing pretty good damage here. Pretty good damage at the moment as we see the Zerglings, Roaches, Queens. And over the right-hand side, a Cyclone from uThermal at the front as well. Continue forwards. Now the Knight is on the way up, so that Swarm Hosts can get across the map and around the map more easily into some more kind of aggressively viable positions. We've seen the Cyclones here lock onto the Overlord. And another as well. You have the vision he does. So it's actually being kept somewhat supply blocked from this, as we do see uThermal has seen that Nidus, so he can come over here and shut this down instantly. It's going to be a good shutdown from uThermal as well. Good play, as you do see 2 more Liberators on the way out. Centrifugal Hooks, +2 missile attack. Bane still on the way out here. Hellions going to go diving by. 3 drones killed, 8 drones killed. And obviously, with mech, you keep on building Hellions, so these drive-bys continue throughout the game. In the main base will get shut down here. Well, Solo's economy is actually really down in the gutter. 59 drones against 74 SCVs is definitely not a pretty number to be at. You're going to see Lings, Roaches, Banes, and Ravagers coming in from the right-hand side. A Cyclone gets picked off. There goes the Nidus across the map again. This time the Cyclone lock-on was used on a Roach. It'll come back off cooldown in a moment. Locks on, and I don't think the Nidus gets up again. Solo is having no luck at all. He has no map vision across the map either, so he has no real way to put those Niduses down successfully or consistently, and now he's just got so many, like 7 Swarm Hosts, which have just done nothing all game. Finally, he may be able to make something happen as the Hellions, though, in the front off creep will be able to fight those Banes somewhat comfortably. And Roach is on the right side. Cleaned out again. uThermal's just trading so well with this max style at the moment against Solar. It's going very well for him as Cyclones on the right will deny the Nidus again. How many times will this happen? We're still yet to see the Swarm Host be used aggressively, which means it's just been really a waste of money. You know, what they did defensively could have been done by Roaches. They're meant to put the Terran into some pressure. Finally, the Nidus gets up. Finally, the Swarm Hosts are getting out of it. Liberator is going to siege up, but that is going to be Corrosive Bars, which will actually also shoot down some of the Locusts. Even when the Locusts get to come out aggressively, they're being shot down. Friendly fire is a thing. Cyclones continuing in, locking in to get Roaches and Ravagers. Yes, the Roach Ravager being cleaned out. Cyclones still pressing through. We're going to see a couple of Ravagers getting picked up. Roach shot down as well. A couple of Liberators will siege here. New thermal supply is really looking great. Solo is still down on workers. And I mean, he just lost a lot of his army here as well. uThermal's got Liberators in play too, and those are really good in this scenario because they're really great at zoning out these units, and there's only a few Ravagers left, so especially with the lack of Ravagers now, these Liberators should do amazingly well because there's not much to shut them down. The Nidus on the right-hand side, that might finally sneak past uThermal's army. Nope, a Cyclone's found it. Oh my god, it's going to go down before Swarm Hosts get out again. One Zerglin gets to the high ground there. uThermal seems to know that that's a possibility. Comes up, locks onto the Ling, goes towards the Nidus. Still skirmishing with the rest of Solar's army, but uThermal has the momentum in this game, and there doesn't seem to be a reason for him to let this go. Maybe the Swarm Hosts could jump out of here. This Cyclone didn't lock on. Bane's trying to roll forwards there. Go the Liberator sieging up and picking up kills whenever they can. A couple of Banes that do connect do okay, but nothing crazy. Now, eventually, another Nidus on the left-hand side. Man, just the Swarm Host. I mean, at least he didn't build more than 7 Swarm Hosts, but that's kind of the issue as well. The fact he's only built 7, it's not really crazy numbers to actually get damage done all said and done. Which gets picked off as the Cyclones lock on again. Overlord taking hits. Libs will have to dodge away. I'm just going to be seeing this army coming back down to the bottom side. Now these Swarms, okay, they're just able to get in there. They drop down, but honestly, that's not good because, well, the Hellions should have done better and cleaned up those Locusts. They didn't, and so actually uThermal's pushed back. Hey, where's uThermal's army? Okay, a lot of Hellion Cyclone coming out the front. He has to pull SCVs from the front as Solar finally gets into an aggressive position and can make some use of it. A couple of Banes that do connect aren't really on anything clumped up, so not too bad. Here's uThermal. Just losing mining from the space for a little while is obviously a frustration. These Liberators are not sieging. I mean, if you're building these Libs, you may as well get them sieged up, right? As, oh, SCV's choked up on the Cyclone. 12 workers have gone down in this fight, and uThermal is, well, maybe he's struggling a bit more to clean this up than he was before now. These Libs have to siege up at some stage, but obviously he wants to make sure they're spread out when they're getting sieged because they don't want to be corrosive barred down all at once. They will get sieged and a couple of Swarm Hosts are being shot down, so in the end the Liberators get some value. uThermal supply block loses that orbital command in the front, by the way. He's still going to turn Solar around, so he's still able to get kills here at the end. 70 workers still up from uThermal. He's got a CC over here that's going to land down, so he will replace the 4th base he just lost. Hey, what's up, Muslim? Thank you so much for the host. Hello, everyone from the Muslim stream. How you guys doing? As this Nidus gets shot down, Hellion Cyclone will continue to the top side of the map. Ravager Queen in the center. What's up, Improvement SE2 with the 11-month resub? Thank you so much as well. I like your emote combo. There's uThermal. Still looking good in this game number 1. Ling Roach Ravager. Around the right, we see this Liberator coming over as well, and drones starting to get shot down. 9 workers killed already. So this is where the Liberators just get aggressive, and obviously that's painful as well, right? Losing drones when... Again, Solar's economy was never good in this game. It was never strong. So he's never been able to get into a better spot. Hellions, Cyclones, and Liberators on the right side. Another Nidus network starting up on the left here as well. 2 more Liberators, plus 1 ship weapons coming in on the armory. With the Ravager on the right-hand side, here we go with the Zerglings running forwards. Couple Banes looking to connect in. Cyclone's taking some damage. Solar still pressing the front here. Solar getting aggressive again. Has a bit of an army supply advantage now. Corrosive Bars dropping down. Liberators are going to get shot out the skies. And Solar feels like he's got a better chance of this than he's had all game long. The few Locusts that are available to come out of Swarmhost will be on their way. And he's going to lose all the Liberators. New Liberators on the way, but there's so many Ravagers, and that's kind of the issue. These Locusts stop short of anything insubstantial. Solar still down, way down in workers. Resources lost is dead even, so Solar kind of has to make something happen now. He has to do some kind of damage here, but that's Cyclone lock-ons that will potentially get Ravager kills. I like this Liberator on the high ground here. That's going to be harder to shut down properly as Solar will rotate around this bottom left base. 30 workers there. So actually, uThermal, while he has a worker lead, a lot of them are oversaturated and not mining properly, so they won't actually do as much as you might be expecting. So that worker lead from uThermal is not as crazy as you think. The income you can see is actually a little bit uThermal favored, but not completely. Corrosive Files on that base over here is not going to go down. Actually, I thought that was already a plantry, but it's just a command center. It wasn't finished. Oh my god, suddenly 32 SCVs go down, so there is uThermal's economy disappearing. Command center as well. And Solar is on his way back into this. Roaches and Lings continue to come on up. We're just going to be seeing Roaches and Ravagers up to the top side. Solar, having denied bases here, can take it easy for a couple moments. It's almost seeing this base in the bottom left. It's so close to realizing that that is there. 3 more Liberators, tanks, smart servos on the way up as well. Through, gonna go and pick away at the creep tumors. 8 Banelings on the way up, 12 Zerglings on the way out. This army of Solar gathering in the center. See those Hellions going to get surrounded and all going to get cleaned out here. Solar is seemingly back in this, seemingly kind of letting uThermal kind of in this a little bit, but Solar for the most part is in control. I mean, Solar's just rebuilding up, right? His economy's still low, 49 workers. I can't believe he missed this orbital. The Locusts, the Swarmhosts were right there, and they missed it. It's a real shame. Just imagine 10 Banshees. I mean, obviously, if something like that comes up, Solar responds with Aspire, right? I mean, it might be hard for him to get there, but it's also an investment into uThermal's army that would be committed. Although maybe the Banshees would have been better than the Liberators as the choice right now. Don't disagree with that. Things morphing into Banes, running down this right side. Gonna run straight into this here. Cyclone's gonna get knocked down. A lot of the tanks that are up are not really gonna do much either. The Liberators are so slow to arrive. Problem is, Solar doesn't want to keep pushing into siege tanks, right? So he's going to have to back away and take it slow. uThermal getting this base back up is essential because he was really running out of places to mine from, and his income really was starting to hurt. I mean, this bottom left base with some mules was nice. And the one thing that is good for uThermal is that obviously Solar's income is so low as well. Only 58 drones. I say only 58. He's only just built back up into a few of those. So it was even lower than that until very recently. Aspire and a Hive on the way. uThermal will be probably up against Broodlords sooner rather than later. Halbats coming around and drones will continue to drop down. Workers killed. Ravagers, Banelings, and Zerglings. Back through the middle. Nidus on the right. +2 melee starting on the evolution chamber here, and well, Ling getting blown up by a siege tank shot. Liberators are going to find their way over, and well, they should be sieging to try and get some of those Ravagers. Swarmhost jumping back into Nidus over here. There's only a few Swarmhosts left alive. He's only trying to get some damage done here and there. They're not really looking for anything too significant. Corruptors on the way, obviously a way to help fight those Liberators. With tanks in play as well, the problem is the Ravagers can't just bow down the Libs, they have to bow down the tanks, and so if that is happening, you need something else at the same time to then kill the Liberators off, so that's kind of the scenario we're in right now. moving up the center a little bit. Ravagers to the top side. Couple of Libs going to get shot down here. Corruptor and the Spore Crawler dealing some damage. Multiple Corruptors able to get that Lib, so Lib will fall, and just going to be seeing tanks, Hellions into Hellbats. This army of uThermal continues to set up here. He's now pushing. And up on, I mean, this bottom left base still being the Mule base. Definitely helps him out. Just means these other bases will not mine out of minerals as quickly. But look how oversaturated he is. About, what, 14, 22 workers or so oversaturated across both bases. He won't build Banshees, guys, because the problem is Solar has got Corruptors up now. If you build Banshees, the Corruptors are just going to shoot the Banshees down. They actually won't do that much. Now Broodlords can start to morph as well. That should be one of the real holding factors for Solar, but he doesn't actually have the supply free to build many Broodlords. I guess for now, one will do. There's not a lot of anti-Broodlord in play. 22-minute game. This has really turned into an epic. A Parasitic Bomb drops down. The Corruptors have to be careful because the Liberator splash damage does add up. And it's quite significant. A good split from the Parasitic Bomb here. uThermal's still pressing in. The one Broodlord to help with the defense. It'll be interesting to see if he can do anything. I mean, some friendly fire, right? Is still friendly fire. Broodlord shoots. Tank goes down. Okay, it didn't actually go down. I was expecting more friendly fire. There we go. Tank goes down. Now a few more Corruptors showing up. They're going to start fighting the Libs, trying to split up here as well. Again, there's just not really enough proper anti-air here for uThermal, so if the Liberators don't get the job done, these Corruptors are going to overrun. The Hellbats run forwards fighting without the Siege Tank support, and now Solar's going to start collapsing on this. Remember, uThermal's economy is hurting, just doesn't have the bases and the workers up. A couple more volleys of burst bars coming down here. Liberators sieging on top of the Ravagers. uThermal does kill a lot of Solar's units in the end. 7 more Corruptors on the way as he's looking to still have the air control here. A couple more corrosive bars as he's going to go for the Siege Tanks. In fact, he's just going to die for the Siege Tanks. That one Liberator is likely to go down too, and uThermal does not have much left. Solar misses the bile on this final Liberator. 129 to 106 supply. uThermal has a new base heading to this left-hand side. He needs that base. He needs this base to kind of mine properly as well, really. Vikings are going to land. Solar has an upper right base, which he can run towards pretty easily. Don't think those Vikings should spend too long over there. There's one fire carapace on the way up. 2 Broodlords from Corruptors coming into play. And these Vikings are going to get a bunch of drones. 4 drones down. Vikings lift up into the sky. Corruptors going to take some damage. Viper in trouble. The Hellions are coming back around. A couple of drones going down. I mean, Hellions killing drones at this stage of a game is obviously pretty crazy. It really helps out as more and more drones will just keep on dropping. Knight's Network on the bottom left now. Zerglin's going to run around after SCVs again. Bruce dropping in on those Hellions. Hellions going down. Orbital has to lift up. So this bottom left base finally found. I mean, we mined a lot of minerals from this base. I don't think uThermal can be upset about it only being found now. It's taken a long time for Solar to shut that down. So 127 supply. His own economy is still just so low, and that's why these fights are dangerous for both players. You take one bad fight, you don't rebuild off of it. And it is still real close between the two of them. Hellions getting picked off. Scan dropping down as Solar continues to be aggressive down at the bottom side here. Planetary Fortress will make this a bit of a better holding position. The 2 Broodlords, I mean, he can only afford a couple. But in fairness, the 2 Broodlords can change so much. The dynamic there is great. Hellions will roast the entire top right mineral line, so uThermal will get damage done. But he's going to lose a lot of workers over here himself. So the workers on both sides dropping fast. Thermal is actually going to lose this bottom left base. And again, if you're losing these bases, you're basically losing the last bases you can mine from in the game because, well, you just don't have command centers to send everywhere anymore. A couple of Lings are just going to chase those SCVs down. uThermal down to 24 workers. Solar is down to 30, well, 20 workers himself. Oh my god, Solar is losing the last of his drones. 3 SCVs for uThermal, 15 drones for Solar. Talk about low economy. Well, last 12 drones from Solar, 8 of them over here. A couple elsewhere. Looking like one jumps into a Nidus to keep itself alive. Locust will come back to deal with those Hellions. uThermal is barely mining. And Solar is also barely mining, but he's mining 4 times as much as uThermal. That's not completely true. Obviously, mules come into play as well. The Hellions will go to the top right. Corruptors back up the left. He comes back around. Hellions and Cyclones from uThermal will continue over to the left-hand side here. Still have this army of Solar up in the sky, and it's going to be pressing forwards as well. Comes down to basically the next fight. A few Locusts will harass and find some of the newly built SCVs. Hey, those Locusts, the fact they're still alive and getting damage done at this stage is impressive and incredible. 27 minutes in. And uThermal had such a great opening, kind of 15 minutes or so, and Solar just found a way to start turning it around, and that's why we're here now. Corruptors flying forwards, Vikings taking damage. Brutal still pressing in, and the tanks being chased away. The Cyclones taking some shots as well. Strongholds get shot down. You're going to be seeing the Parasite bomb dropping on the Viking, and uThermal will leave the game as Solar wins the Apologies, guys. As we do have proxying our red Terran player bottom right side is uThermal. 2 racks proxy, it would seem. No third SCV moving across the map there. Again, Solar, top left, up 1-0 in this best of 5. So away we go. Getting this ready to roll. Solar comes down, sees the barracks with this Overlord, so that's a great scout for him. uThermal will not see the Overlord seeing the barracks. Okay, he sees it now. So Solar knows. Solar wants to move forwards because he wants to see, have you got a third barracks or not? So he tries to get as much info as possible. Gives him a good read. He sends drones forwards early. Solar likes to do this. Deny the bunker on the low ground. Obviously, it's a pretty late scout, so you can't send drones all the way down to the building SCVs on the racks. Swarming pool going to finish in a moment from Solar Extractor in the main, and Extractor might not come into play here for a little while as the hatchery on the low ground finishes. We'll see if Solar's just going to go what he builds. He's got all the money saved up. He's got a lot of drones. He's going to fight this when there's only 2 Marines. Because it's only 2 Marines and it's only 2 racks, he knows he's got the numbers to kind of just slow this down and to delay the bunker until the Lings get out here and then delay the bunker even further. Again, bless me. Oh my god, bless me, as we do see drones pulling in. So, really wants to make sure this doesn't finish, but actually it might. Well, he's going to go for the kill on this. He's going to go get the SCV kill as well. 4 drones currently down, 5, 6. It's a lot of units, a lot of workers lost here from Solar. We'll still try and fight. He does deny the other bunker from coming up, but it's a lot of drones he's lost, and obviously maybe he has to be careful still to make enough units to defend any further Marines. uThermal still making Marines and rallying them forwards at the moment. 2 Queens from Solar to defend, and drones in production. Drones on the way out. Queen will inject here. 3 minutes into the game, and Marines are still pressing forwards. Link speed signed up in the main base. Just those Marines. Still pressing forwards. Still get a Queen. I mean, that's nice as well. Anything you can pick off at the moment, as we do see the Drone gets picked off. The Ling's going over, and that's going to be a dead Marine there as well. So Marine will go down. There's Queen picking away at the barracks. Starport in the main base. This Rack's coming back home. Factory building a reactor. And the Viking on the way up from uThermal in the main. So getting that ready to go. Couple of, well, Hellions can start up here in the factory shortly. uThermal's got a CC building. Yeah, like damage was decent, but Solo I think is just about. I think uThermal did enough to kind of even the game out, not enough to just end the game here and now. So Solo's third base comes down. That's one thing to keep in mind. That third hatchery is super late compared to usual, right? So that is one thing that's definitely happened here. Much later third base. We're going to be seeing the barracks coming around the top side. Ling speed starting up on the spawning pool, and fusion core on the way down from uThermal as well. Queen's going to drop down a creep tumor or two. Fusion core on the way up in the main base, just going to be seen as barracks into the main. I really don't know what's up my throat lately. I really hope the rest for it in the next couple of weeks will bring it back to feeling good again. Queen's just picking away at the racks. This damage being done as a Viking will land into the main, and we do see Hellions. Be running forwards. Ling's going to go after the Viking, which will land back down. Run on the way up from Soloist, and uThermal will go into a battle cruiser. So battle cruiser on the way down here. So again, the BC up and running. Roach Rowan is going to finish on the natural, and Hellions will pick off a Zergling as well. It seems like this game will go on a little while here because uThermal was in a good spot and not a good enough one to just roll solo over or anything. So we should get into a bit of a macro game, really. Running back against see a couple of roaches. Just going to be picking those Hellions off. Queen's coming forwards as well. And the Hellions are going to keep on running around here. 3 drones down. So picked off as well. And just going to be seeing the Queens and roaches continue to chase. And the fact this is only 4 workers killed is very impressive for Solo. Just really good defense. That was a lot of Hellions. Now the battlecruiser arrives in the main though. And Solo has to pull his Queens out of, back into position. They weren't there for the last few moments. He only has a few Queens as well because of the early game, so the BC is getting quite a bit done. uThermal will be playing mech again behind this, by the way. The factory's already down, but again, it's just that BC style, right? BCs generally mean mech. So 8 drones killed as we have Hellions into the center. Just trying to run by once again here, get a bit more damage done. Drone's starting to go down. A good few workers there. Ling's going to grab this Hellion as well. This BC in the main going to be continuing to come down into the main base. He's going to go after the BC. So BC taking some damage again. Magfield Accelerator coming into play. Cyclone about to finish from uThermal. And there's the Cyclone to pick off a Zergling as that BC teleports back home. And will get repaired. Supply lead for uThermal, but Solo is saving up money for the Corruptors once that Spire finishes. So that's what he's aiming for in a moment or so. If a Nidus dies, do the units in it die? If the Nidus dies and there's no exit, yes. So if every part of the Nidus worm is killed, any unit inside will die. But if you lose the head of the Nidus and the base still exists, then obviously they just stay in the base, right? Or if the base dies, then still in the head, they can still get out. So as long as they can still exit the Nidus, they're okay. But if they can't exit the Nidus, boom, they pop, they die. Queens with the Corruptors this time should have a bit of a better time. Both BCs... Well, actually, the BC's targeted didn't have teleport. This one will have teleport in a moment. Oh, that's unlucky for Solar. If we targeted this BC first, it would have been a kill. Hellion Cyclone. And BC's over here as uThermal. Well, he's kind of letting Solar build up, right? And here's the thing. Solar now pressing forwards. He's looking to try and get those BCs, but while they're on teleport cooldown. Problem is, there's a lot of Cyclones around as well. Looks like he'll go into the main base and Caustic spray down the orbital. How many drone kills make 4 Hellions for us actually viable? About 6. Because honestly, at 6, you've denied mining time, you're killing drones, and Hellions are much more throwawayable than drones are. Drones have to be replaced, and they slow down unit production, whereas Hellions, they're going to be replaced anyways. You keep on pumping Hellions out all game long, so it's, you kill like 5 or 6 drones with 4 Hellions, I think you're pretty happy. The biggest difference is Bio versus Mech, so early game Hellions. Generally need to do more if you're playing Bio, because if you give up your Hellions while playing Bio, you give up your map control, so the Zerg can just be very greedy, spreading creep, etc. So in that regard, you kind of need more drones to get kind of the worthwhile amount of workers. It had to be worthwhile with the Hellion trade. Whereas if you're playing Mech, you're going to keep building Hellions, you can get less drones and it's still okay, because you'll still have Hellions for the map control. These two Queens are way off creep, no idea what they're doing up here, but it's not where they want to be. So still making a bunch of Corruptors. Great Aspires to be on the way soon. Hive is going to be finished shortly. Well, your Solar knows these BCs are up here, so you can move into position to intercept. All of them have teleports though, so this is just going to be 3 Yamatos and teleport away. No BC killed. And Solar with Broodlords on the way out. He's looking to get into those to really start closing this game out for himself, really. Excuse me. Which is along the left-hand side. Command Center from uThermal will drop down here in the center as well. And the CV is coming over. Command Center building up. Missile turret dropping down in the mineral line, and just seen the Lingroach Ravager army in the center of the map as well. An extractor or 2 coming in. Hatchery dropping down. Lings on the right side getting picked away at more of these Hellions. Still getting Zergling kills. On the bottom, Hellion, Cyclone, Tank, and BC. Pushing all the way across the bottom left side. 2 Ghost Academies on the way up in the main base, and just going to be seeing the Hellions keep on moving up top. Ravager will come over the left here and just going to be seeing what might happen. Spinecrawler poking and prodding. Looks onto the Queen as well, and just going to see again the Hellbats having to back away. The Hellions from uThermal up at the top are going to be running by. Hellions able to get a few Zergling kills, and Drone going to go down too. Big push from uThermal is going to put Solar into a very tough position. He kind of has to defend this. Loses a 5th base. And that's okay, but uThermal's taking a 5th base of his own, so Solar has to fight this to some extent. Corruptors are going to be under fire here from the Armados. The BCs teleport away, but actually the Broodlords are here, so they'll get some kills. Cyclone's taking some damage. Meanwhile, the Lingroach counter-attack. Now, the BCs just teleported home, so they should be able to defend this, I think. SCV repair is very good. And Solar has to back away, can't do much more. Yamato cannons on cooldown, of course. They can't catch a couple of kills. Burst of Bal connected just slightly as well. Hey, what's up, Noi? 000, thank you so much for the 100 bits. 7 more Corruptors on the way out. Lings and Broods still building. Another command center on this far right-hand side. There you go, Corruptors and Broodlords still pressing in. You're going to see the Sense Tower in some trouble, and well, this is the fight that will really kind of decide this. Is there a way to fight those Broodlords? Caustic sprays the Planetary Fortress, backs away now. Gets away from Cyclone Lock on range there. The Brood's still fighting the Planetary, mostly just killing Broodling, so this is free damage for Solar at the moment. On the top side, a couple of Lings fighting the base, actually gets a cancel. uThermal will now lose a base as well, and, well, these tanks are obviously in trouble. Haven't done siege if they stay siege. The problem is the Broodlords force friendly fire. Well, Ghosts on the way out, nukes are building too, but I don't know if uThermal defends this. I don't know if he holds on. There we go, Broodlords coming in. A couple of snipes will line up, but not too much going on just yet. No detection from Solar, so the Ghosts are doing pretty well. They're going to be out of energy shortly, as uThermal is going to lose his battle cruisers. The Roaches still on the ground here. Extra Ghosts showing up are starting to die. There's only a couple of PCs left, though. So these Corruptors are now going to caustic spray down another base. A few reinforcing units showing up. I mean, the Broodlords are just still killing everything. Across the map, Solar is losing units as well, and drones, especially to Hellion Cyclone. But uThermal is actually losing bases, and Ghost finds another snipe, and oh my god, it goes down. Every unit that goes down here from uThermal is so painful. Cyclones pick off this hatchery. Bottom left-hand side, drones being roasted again. Lings running in, Corruptors taking more damage. But Solar has money to rebuild a little bit, and he comes out a few workers behind. He can definitely get those workers back online. The damage he did to uThermal is pretty substantial. I mean, this orbital surviving does help uThermal a bit. Oops, uThermal. He needs to try and hang on in here. Falling 0-2 down against Solar kind of feels like it's setting up, you know, the task of which seems somewhat impossible here, really. Go some Thor still sat on this right side. Broodlord starting to morph in. +3 missiles, +3 melee, upgrades from Solar. 6 more Broods. I mean, that's the difference maker, right? Because there's still not really a reliable way to deal with Broodlords. I mean, a couple Thors help, but they're not the be-all, end-all answer when there's only 2. If there was like 5, 6, 7 Thors, it's a very different scenario. I feel like the Cyclones being made. I think the thing is, you make the Cyclones help push the Corruptors back, etc. If you can lock onto the Broods, great, but how do you lock onto the Broods? I feel like the issue is if you build more Thors, you just die to the Roaches on the ground. It kind of becomes the problem, right? As Solar's getting ready to go into this position again. Hellbats begin to morph in. And the Broods can fire from the distance. Hits that first SCVs to Broodlings already leading the charge into this, and here we go. The Corruptors don't have much to fight right now. They'll caustic spray down the orbital in the meantime. And you can just see the Thors are going to go down. uThermal will not have enough to hold on. And this is going to be too much. And Solar takes down this army. That's going to be GG from uThermal. And this is going to go... yeah! 3 of this grand final. As we get ready to kick this off, bottom right, our blue Terran player is uThermal. Up against our red Zerg. Top left, Solar. No proxy this time around. We'll see what comes up here on Thunderbird of all maps. Nice macro-focused one. Let's see what happens. Solar. A map win here. Takes us down 3-0. Let's see if it'll work out. SCV moving around. Oh, third hatch in place. So SCV doesn't get the intended block. It's a pretty fast third hatchery, so it kind of denies any sort of blocking potential that uThermal is trying to go for there. Reaper heading up into the top left. Reaper getting a couple of kills here, so some damage being done. CC is being built. He's going to go 3CC uThermal, so he's going to go into a nice strong macro opener. The question kind of becomes mech or bio. We haven't really seen him trying to play bio against Solar. Oh my god, that Reaper. I was stuck in a bit of an awkward spot. He hasn't really tried to play bio against Solar yet. It's been mech both times. And honestly, again, he gets into some good spots, but then it slips away from him. So let's see what happens here on Thunderbird. Yeah, this Reaper was obviously rallied down here, and he got, instead of looping around the ramp, it was obviously rallied in a way that, He just messed up, got stuck there, so a little bit of a mistake. And the map making, more than anything, actually. It's obviously not really a mistake from uThermal. If he's rallied down the ramp, then it's meant to go down the ramp. It's not meant to get stuck in a corner, so a little bit of a pathfinder mistake. So yeah, Reaper popping up, gonna go up into the main base. Fusion core starting from uThermal in at the main. So getting that ready to go as we do see the couple of Lings gonna go and pick off this Reaper here. So Reaper will go down. A couple Queens of Solar are continuing out the front. Spore Crawl on the way. Fusion core building up. So you can see this kind of the greediest kind of battle cruisers you can do. Your Solar sees everything with this Overlord, so seeing this so early, Lara's on the way. Spire can start pretty quickly. It is just so greedy to go 3cc into BC, but again, if you're not already being aggressive as Zerg, it's very difficult to react and be aggressive against this, because what are you meant to do? Like, it's just too late for you to start getting roaches ready to go now. So we'll just go Roach Run. Obviously, that's necessary for the ground, but also, again, off the lair, we'll absolutely be expecting the Spire here. Going in towards the Corruptors, kind of as we saw in the last game. See if Solar can shut down. I mean, obviously Solar went into the anti-BC play off of a bit of a deficit, I'd say, on the 2 racks. So we'll see if he can do something a bit more cleanly this time around. Would be great for him, of course. As we do see those Hellions coming across there for the moment. Hellions running by. Zerglin's taking quite a lot of damage. As we're going to see the Hellions run to the drones now, so 3 workers down and maybe a few more. 5 workers killed, make that 6. No, just 5. And this is kind of a lot of Hellions going in there, and he doesn't quite find anything more, so uThermal loses those Hellions. This dive was not so great for him. Some of these drones are low. If the BC went over there, might have been able to get something done. He tries to build the BC into the natural because, well, if the Queen's on the right side, obviously this is a better chance to deal damage. But good pull away from Solar, really minimizing chances to get, for damage to be dealt. Some Roaches are going to go across the map and see if they can do damage because there's only Hellions out at the moment. As the Spire is about to complete, and Solar will be able to build Corruptors, which will start to really shut down this BC play, which currently has not done anything. So Roach is arriving on the other side. Hellions already in trouble. 2 Cyclones only just now started, by the way. So Hellions will continue to take some hits. Next Battlecruiser still in production as well. Queen still turn this around. Some Lings went towards the mineral line while the Roaches just deal with the Hellions. A couple more Roaches showing up. They'll go to the mineral line to try and get some more workers, and uThermal is losing a lot already. I mean, this is multiple SCVs going down. I mean, a lot of Hellions have just gone down as well. Some extra Lings are going to show up, and just look at the damage here. 8 workers down. uThermal is kind of looking as though he's in some real trouble. Cyclones will pick up that final Roach as well. These Lings, these Roaches still kind of going for this. 14 SCVs killed. I mean, it's crazy amounts of damage taken, really. Finally, the BCs clean up, and now Corruptors are out, and, well, we all know how those Corruptors can work. The problem is for the Corruptors, they can't go across the map aggressively to hunt BCs unless they've already teleported home. Because if you go across the map, the BCs will just teleport across the map aggressively, and that's obviously not good for you. I feel like Solar might just go bust this with Fling Roach, Ravager, Corruptor, because he's done so much damage already. The Worker kills, the Hellion kills. He has killed a lot. Resources is favoring him. He's been mining well throughout the game. The attempts to deal damage from uThermal haven't done a lot. Obviously slowed down the income of uThermal massively as well. So you can see more units just spamming out. He's not building an infestation pit or anything else. He's not even getting any upgrades. Solar is looking to win this game with this push coming across the map as we speak. Cyclones don't even have Magfield Accelerator. uThermal's out of position with this army anyways. I mean, Solar is just going to come across again. Those Corruptors can absolutely deal with these Battlecruisers. The Immortals will line up for sure. Corrosive Bowels will land. The BCs teleport just further back into the natural, where you might just see CVs trying to repair them, but it will not be enough. Solar will take this 3-0